I have been wanting to make this video for the past week. I just didn't know the right time to make this video. But word is going around that Trump has signed this executive order to put all mental illness people and all homeless people and all disabled people inside of a training camp or a concentration camp. And a lot of people really don't know what that means by mental illness. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I want to get y'all onto a deeper level of thinking what is meant by that. If you are not a part of the 3D consciousness, you are basically mentally ill. If you are spiritually awakened, you are basically mentally ill. If you are in the 5D consciousness or have the Christ consciousness, you are basically mental ill. Okay? When you are mentally ill, the definition of being mentally ill is when you doesn't fit the narrative of everybody else. So the fact that you got so many people that has awakened to a new conscious level, you got a lot of people that is in a now 5 to 7 or 8 and 9D conscious level. That means they are not in alignment with the 3D conscious level. Okay, that will basically make you a mental ill person. So a lot of people keep saying, oh, that's messed up that Donald Trump is signing this. See, the thing about it is that we don't know what's going on, but they do. They know that many people is waking up more and more and more each day. And if people continue to wake up more, if people consciousness begin to rise even more, they are going to have to do something with these conscious beings. And they're not going to tell us that they are going to take people that have this consciousness and put them away. They can't do that. They can't let the world know that Christ consciousness is now on earth. So they will consider people that is in the 5D conscience or have the Christ consciousness, they are still going to put them in the bag of having mental illness. So when Donald Trump signed this executive order, he is aware that it's people that is in another conscious level. And if you are in another conscious level, you are going to be disobedient to the system. A person that is in a 3D conscious level, they are already trained and programmed to be obedient, to obey, and to consume, and to idolize and worship. But if you are not in a 3D conscious level and you are in a 5D conscious level, you are going to be disobedient to that particular system because you are consciously aware of what is going on. So when Trump signed the executive order, I already knew what he was doing. He basically is looking for, this is why now they are I truly believe that what they are going to do is they are going to go through all of TikTok. They're going to go through all of Facebook and Instagram, and they are going to look at our content, and they can basically see who's woke. They're going to see who's not woke. And what I mean woke, I mean by conscious level. And this is why they already signed an executive order that they can come to your house at any given time without any written notice, without any warrants, and they can come and get you. They even put this in movies. So when you think of mentally ill, if you are spiritually awakened, you basically have a mental illness because you are no longer in the 3D consciousness. You are basically in a 5D conscious level. So the fact that you are spiritually awakened and you have the Christ consciousness now awakened through you, you are basically going to be disobedient to the system. And right now, Trump is only wanting people in this reality right now that is willing and voluntarily is going to want to be in this system. So don't get it twisted when you hear that Donald Trump is signing this executive order, because mentally ill does not mean because you have bipolar, because you have ADD or ADHD, or you have autism. That is a part of being mentally ill too. But if you are in the 5D conscious level, if you have the Christ consciousness in you, if you are awakened to the Christ consciousness, you are considered mentally ill. So I wanted to make this video to let y'all know that it's going to be more people that is going, if this does happen, because I don't believe that this is going to happen just yet, but if this ever come into force, or if this ever come into the light, they are going to try to get people that is more in another conscious level spiritually than people that actually has autism or ADHD, because they can easily be put on medication. You know what I'm saying? They can easily be controlled because they don't have the mindset to say no. They don't have the mindset to take control of their lives. But if you are in the 5D conscious level, you are aware, you have the Christ consciousness through you, you are basically more aware than the gods, because you are aware of everything around you. And I truly believe that the reason why he signed his executive order was to give him permission to actually invade the people that has the Christ consciousness at this point, because they are aware that it's more and more and more people waking up. And by the end of the year, it's going to be even more people that is going to be waking up. And just like Samuel Toko said, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be many people like me, and y'all will not be able to control them. It's going to be too many of them. So right now, it's a lot of us that is already awakened, and it's a lot more that is going to awake. But to be real honest, it's not that many people right now that is awakened. It's not. Out of 8 billion people that they say is on this planet, I would say it's about maybe a 250,000. It's about maybe 100 million right now that has the 5D conscious level. That is very little. Out of 8 billion people, it's about maybe 100 million that is awake, and it's about maybe a few 100,000 that is actually out there trying to warn the people. Because a lot of people that has the Christ consciousness in them, they are afraid to speak up because they are afraid to die. They are afraid of what's going to happen to them. But to be honest, just because you have the Christ consciousness in you and you are afraid of speaking up, they already know that you are awakened just because you are quiet, because it was written in your soul contract for you to awake. They already knew that you was an awakened being the moment you came out of your mother's womb. So just because you hiding behind the door, you don't want the world to know that you have gained the Christ consciousness, the universe already know. The people that is controlling this reality already know. They monitor us 24/7 from the moment we sleep to the moment we wake up. This is why hiding behind the closet of your awakening is not going to do you any good, because the universe already knows who the chosen ones and who are not. This is why we are being watched over 24/7. This is why the sky is basically a mirror that is watching us. So this is why I say, if you have the 5D consciousness and you have the Christ consciousness and you are awake, go out and just share your knowledge with the world, because we are going to die anyway. No matter what we do, whether you hide your awakening or not, we are all going to have to leave this planet eventually. So why die in being who you really are and spread the truth and the light to the people? Just like Jesus Christ knew that he was going to die. So what he did, he went and spread the knowledge in the world to the people anyway, because he knew that he was going to die. And if you have the Christ consciousness in you right now, if you are aware of who you are and where you are going to know eventually you are going to die, because we are coming into a world that is against the Christ. This is why we are coming into the Antichrist, because the Antichrist is against the Christ consciousness. This is why you got to take his mark, because he is against the Christ consciousness. And when you take his mark, you are in the image of him, or being against the Christ consciousness. This is why this Antichrist is going to make war with the people that got the Christ consciousness in him, because it's a war on good and evil. It's a war on Christ and the Antichrist. So they know what is going on. We just don't. You understand what I'm saying?